Hey everybody, it's Mike Brewer from ApartmentHacker.com, and tonight we are going to talk about slowing down to 1 mile an hour in a 900-mile-an-hour world. And where I'm going with that is the telephone and answering the telephone on a multifamily site, and our leasing consultants and our salespeople answering the telephone on a multifamily site. The sad and startling fact of the phone only being answered 30 to 40% of the time is actually still alive and true today, as much as it was back 15, 20 years ago. And we still have to work diligently to get over that. But when they do answer the telephone, I think that there is this propensity, and it's likely germane to our world today and being connected 24/7 and feeling like you have to respond to everything right when it happens. It's given cause for telephone conversations to be very disconnected. There's no cadence to a phone call anymore. I've listened to, let's say I've listened to 100 plus or minus telephone calls over the last couple of weeks, and a large percentage of those phone calls carry no cadence, and that is to suggest that the prospect on the other end of the telephone starts to talk, and the consultant or salesperson that is helping them out and trying to inform them about the community either doesn't let that person finish their sentence before they start to talk over them, or there's this awkward silence or pause such that both parties feel like they have to fill the silence, so they talk over each other. And I think the driving reason for that is that we don't stop long enough to listen, actively listen, and register what a person is saying or asking before we provide a response. They get about 2 to 3 to 4 words in, and we are already determining what our answer is to their question. We are already presupposing what we know, that we know what they're trying to ask or what they're trying to get at. And 9 times out of 10, we're wrong because we don't take the time to actively listen. So, this video is not going to tell you anything that you don't already know, but it will encourage you to do what you already know. And that is this: slow down. Slow down. The world moves so fast today that you have to actually give yourself permission to slow down and actively listen to what somebody's trying to say. So I encourage you to ask questions. People on the other end of the phone are going to give you cues as it relates to what they're looking for and ways that you might get rapport if you just stop and listen. And determine needs. Determine what that person is looking for by asking questions or pausing long enough to hear those cues so that you can actually relate to them in some way and find common ground so that you can have a conversation and so that you can ultimately help that person out with what they are looking for. And in our case, that is apartments. So I leave you with this. I think it's time that you need to get out of that FOMO mindset, right? The fear of missing out. I mean, you're on the telephone, but you're thinking about the reactions to your latest Facebook post or your latest Twitter post or your latest Snapchat post. And so you have this FOMO mindset while you're on the telephone, and I think you need to drop that and then get in the I'm going to enrich that person's life on the other end of the telephone mindset and lease some apartments, right? Put your device down, get that thing out of your head, and get back to good old-fashioned relationship building and use the telephone to do it. It's a gold mine. You want to raise your paycheck? Then get tuned into the telephone and drop that FOMO mindset. Enrich your life by enriching the lives of others. That's what I leave you with tonight. Have a great day. We'll talk to you soon.